On this episode of Tabletop Continuum, make a stealth roll with advantage to hop on the wagon and listen in on the budding journey of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. As their first evening at the Bountyfolk comes to a close, the air around Postal Karma is thick, as after a night of thought and anxiety, Cori readies to apologize to the party for his dark introduction and the rift he made. As we say, welcome to the World of Morath. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tabletop Continuum. This is Tyler.
Robin.
The magnificent Austin.
The Valkyrie.
That's your cue, darling.
The Malevolent, who forgot she was on push to talk and just said, I won't do that because I'm on push to talk.
So, how did y'all like last week?
I'm gonna murder a redhead.
There's many redheads. You're gonna have to be far more specific.
I'm going
The
to Jenny
redhead
Hills.
who's a bad man, who's a dick, who's
There's
a
a
liar.
There's a lot of redheads. You're gonna have to be more specific.
There are also a lot of lying redheads.
All right, the lying.
I think there's
redhead
only
who
one.
also
I think there's
happens
only
to
one
be a
redhead with a
bard.
dick, though.
who also happens to be dating a member of the party.
So male.
There's a,
Here?
Listen, Yorkia and Mailed are not in a relationship. It's a
Yeah.
complicated situation.
Yet.
It's a complicated relationship.
But you're gonna have to be more specific. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, where last we left off.
Angus was God and owned the entire planet.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Led by your somewhat beloved and chaotic bard, Cori, he gave you a frightening introduction claiming that you are stuck to become part of the guilds of the Bountyfolk or be assassinated in order to keep secrets. Rightfully so, many of you were mortified by the news and realizing that what he did was woefully wrong. Cori has been contemplating an apology while also giving you all space, especially you, Yorgia, who was led by one of the Goliaths within the Bountyfolk to the training grounds where you just decimated everything. If stuffing and hay were blood and guts, it would be a party right now. Some of you have taken this opportunity far more closely than others, namely not only you, Yorgia, but also Anchor, giving your relations and or perceptions of Cori, giving your times with him. With that, though, you have also come across the leaders of the Bountyfolk, Lady Enya and Lord Carmen Elmerig, who claim to have ties with the Mitsker monarchy and, by extension, ability to better boost the Bountyfolk and the sub-guilds within to initiate a revolution when the time comes. Angus, you consulted the two heads in private, where you struck a deal among your goals for an interplanetary alliance, as the rest of the party began to be led by a rather silly rogue named Lita Plumus, a second-generation fairy who lives on the archipelago, which certainly took our heir by surprise. Now that time has passed and Lita has given you all your basic introduction to the Bountyfolk, it is now dinner time. As many mess halls are set up not only within the sub-guild stations, but around the pillar that centers the core of the building, with hundreds of fighters and craft folk coming together in a conglomerate of sounds and shanty, not unlike any other mess halls that you former guards in the party heard not too long ago. Some of the bards have taken to the stage near the back of the lobby of the Sentinels of Hughes sector, providing loud yet tranquil music that adds another level of enchantment and groundedness, or overstimulation for some, to this new adventuring role and world that you've been thrusted into. The food before you is basic. Not mush, but not exquisite. Well enough to eat, but with flavor that is prominent, but still making you desire to scratch an itch for more, if ever possible. How would you say you all are sitting right now? I know, Angus, you had kind of pulled Cori to talk in private.
And Cree is with Angus and Cori because she wanted to come along.
Indeed.
If Angus finds out that dinner is happening basically now, he will look at Cori and go, after dinner.
But we can pull him aside and have dinner at our own little table.
I mean, that is also an option.
Like
Well, we
I
also
said,
checked.
there are spots to eat not only within the sub guilds, but also an 8th section that's at like the center of the building surrounding the pillar. So there are many spots to eat.
Angus is gonna want to have that conversation a little bit more private, somewhere a little bit more private. So he can wait until after dinner if it's necessary.
Okay. What about everyone else? What are y'all doing with the food and with the situation?
Standing awkwardly.
Yurgia found herself a spot in like the middle, like neutral ground section and kind of sat herself down. I'll be honest, she is still looking around to see if there's any other Kalishtar that she can see. She's particularly looking for those black eyes and those and that distinct hair color. Or hair colors.
Right. Let me see what will be better for you to use. Roll me perception.
Yes, sir. I really need to like have a distinct like sections for all of my dice. I just put all of them in one jar. Okay. I rolled an 18. I had to do some math.
Just like before, you really don't see any defining features of Kalishar. You see some pale folk, but you don't see the deep eyes or the fluorescent hair color that's notable at home.
Okay.
Those that you do see that do have those features, such as the hair, are not Kalishtar. Like, if, for example, you see Lita again, who at first you saw her hair and you were like, oh, Kalishtar? But as soon as she turned around and you noticed her deep blue skin and her slim features, unfortunately, that's indicative not of being a Kalishtar.
Yorgia is kind of... She's going to eat, but she's definitely, like, not focusing on her food. She's definitely looking around as if she's looking for someone or something.
What is everyone else doing outside of eating?
Sinking in my armor awkwardly as I look around for a free place or like a place away from the group. Or even if somebody just gestures for him to come to them instead.
Oh, Siobhan does that. Sorry, Anchor, not to interrupt you. Siobhan gestures.
Okay, so Anchor goes to Siobhan since he's comfortable with Siobhan. This is kind of similar to the mess hall back at the guard, but the bards actually seem like they are voluntarily going up there instead of just, I'm paid to do this.
True, and if they're voluntarily going up there, maybe we won't have to listen to so many bawdy songs. Not that bawdy songs are bad, but I've heard the same ballad about the same wench's daughter millions and millions of times. Siobhan is trying to make small talk, but she still seems
Yeah.
really like uncomfortable with the situation.
Yes, variety is good, which is why am glad that a certain someone I know chose other instruments that are not very, very loud.
A certain someone, eh? She kind of gives Anchor like a sly smile. But real talk, what do you think about this whole place? This situation that we find ourselves in? Are you going to join a sub guild?
I'm not sure. Like, I want to be able to join here because they're treating us nicely, but I don't know. It feels like they're wanting to use us for something that I don't even know half of what's going on. Like some sort of revolution.
Yes, and after being basically kicked out of my race of elves and joining the royal guard and then being betrayed by them, I'm not so hot on the idea of guilds.
Yeah, I can understand you there.
At least I've got you and the rest of our party. Maybe we can be our own guild. The Guild of Wayward Travelers. She takes a large swig of whatever she's drinking.
Your choice.
Oh, ale then. It's ale.
Okay, roll me Constitution there, honey.
Hooray! Okay. Hang on.
Speaking of, I should get my character sheet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I swear, I need to start putting penalties on you guys if you don't have your character sheets ready.
Well, good news. I have my character sheet ready.
Good.
All that looking around in my con is a +0.
Oof.
My actual score is 10.
You're immediately getting a nice buzz going on. You're not drunk. You're teetering between tipsy and drunk.
Oh, fantastic. I've got that warm feeling in my limbs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try some of my food and just stare at it like this is missing something.
You're the secret ingredient to all of our food because you cook it with love. Oh God, I think I'm drunk. Getting
Yes,
drunk.
You definitely sound buzzed, but you're right there. I do cook with love.
Love and lots of spices, lots of seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Siobhan just kind of like keeps drinking and begins to munch on food.
All right. Angus, what are you thinking of doing?
Well, since I grabbed Cori and then looked at Cori, squinted, and said, "I'll talk to you after dinner," I am now walking into the dining room, grabbing my food, blah 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 blah, and I see Anchor and Siobhan sitting together, and well, who the hell else am I gonna sit with at this point? So I'm going to walk up to them and gesture to a seat next to them and go, "May I?"
Anchor perks
Me at Korea and go, "May we?"
Anchor perks up when he sees you two.
Oh,
Siobhan grins.
hold on. Valkyrie's
Hold on.
trying to say a thing.
Sorry.
So Cree actually, again, she made a promise to Sunny. Unless Sunny can come close to the table, if there isn't room, Cree's going to find somewhere to sit with the doggos.
Animals
where
are
Cree
not
will sit.
allowed at the tables during food time.
Well, in that case, Cree's going to look at Angus, because she definitely went up with Angus to get food and stuff like that. But she's gonna look at Angus and say, "I'm gonna go sit with Sundancer and Moonjumper, okay?"
All right. Are you gonna be okay by yourself?
I'll be okay. I have Sunny and Moon with me. And she's gonna go run off to wherever she left them, which probably wasn't too far away.
Yeah, it wasn't too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lita said, there's a spot that's kind of towards the side, towards the entrance of the building that leads into kind of the stable area where Moon and Sunny are right now. And you do see a few people that are currently tending to the stables, and they have already served Moon and Sunny two rather large pails of raw meat.
Oh, they're gonna have gross meat farts later. Oh shit, I wasn't muted.
Oh no! Valkyrie, oh no, how much did you hear there?
Yeah, sorry, my internet apparently just dropped on me. You said people were tending to the stables, and that was about when you cut off.
Yeah, people are tending to the stable. Well, peeper, wow. And you see that the puppers have been given 2 pails of raw meat.
Alright. Is there a spot near them where Cree can just kind of sit with her food that looks like it's out of the way from everybody who's actually tending to the stable?
There is a bench about 10 feet across from where Moon and Sunny are currently, and the other folks that are tending to him.
Alright, so Cree's gonna sit down there. She's gonna sit cross-legged on the bench with her plate in her lap. Obviously careful of her tail to make sure it is not seen. And she's just she's gonna kind of just sit and eat her food, looking around at everything. Mostly she's going to just be watching what everybody else is doing, because it's not like she's ever been in a stable while people are tending to it before, so she's kind of just being kind of curious while she just munches.
They're just kind of doing their own thing, vibing. It's not just Moon and Sunny that are in here. There are many other animals in here. You got cows, pigs, sheep, other puppers, a few foxes, cats. All of these different types of animals are segregated in their own area, and you realize the stable by itself is about as big as the main floor of the Bountyfolk itself. It is huge.
It's big.
You gonna do
It's
some
really
exploring, or are
big.
you gonna do some eating?
Well, she's gonna eat first, but when she's done eating, she absolutely will go exploring.
Okay. Well, how about we go back to the rest of the party for a quick sec?
Yep.
All right. So Angus, what were you doing?
I walk up to Siobhan and Anchor's table and go, may I sit with you?
Anchor perks up and blushes a tiny bit as he sees Angus and nods. Sure, go ahead.
He sits down across from the two of you and so, interesting place.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
Interesting times to be had here, I am certain.
Good interesting or bad interesting?
Yes.
Agreed.
I'm not exactly a big fan of all the subterfuge, but sometimes these sorts of things are necessary, I suppose. Have either of you picked a guild yet?
I mean, I'm a fan of the Protectors ones, but I don't know if I actually want to join them.
Yes, well, I'm feeling similarly.
Siobhan, what
Siobhan,
about you? Siobhan, you're on push to talk.
Yes, I am. Sorry. I'm still here. Could you repeat the question?
have you decided on a guild yet?
I have not decided on a guild yet. I mean, there are some guilds that are speaking to me a little bit more than others, but as far as deciding, I haven't. I think I need to know a little bit more about each guild.
At which point you hear a familiar tone and voice. Well, why didn't you ask me about that sooner? As you see little bitty 1.5 foot fairy Lita kind of flying right near you guys with a tiny little tray of food in her hands.
Angus reflexively lifts up his journal to like whack the fairy, but then goes, "No, not in the Feywilds. No, it's probably fine. No,
It's me, silly.
Siobhan puts on an expression of like mock joy. Oh, it's you.
Anger kind of
Jesus."
lets out a yelp when he hears the tiny voice. Like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I get that a lot. So, I know I was really spacey earlier. I'm always spacey, but I heard you saying that you want to know a little bit more about some of the guilds here.
I, I, I don't know that that's quite what was said, but I suppose it's not too far off from the conversation.
Well, I mean, you guys are still kind of window shopping right now, so.
Well, I speak for yourself, I suppose. Well, don't speak for me, at least. I've got it down to 2 personally.
Oh, which ones?
The runic face, for obvious magical reasons,
Mm-hmm.
which I have mixed feelings about, and the lore locks.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Why the Lorlocks?
Well, I mean, I've always had a fascination with history,
Mm-hmm.
legends, and stories, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's not to like about it? Plus the whole Ikari legend with the monasteries and whatnot. It's a bit up my
You
alley.
Ikrai, not Ikari.
Well, now you can see why I'm not picking the runic face, can't you?
Hey, slow and steady though. What about you two macho folks?
um, what's the one that usually involves the Protectors again?
Sacred ground holders.
It's between that and the Lorelocks, because there are a few familiar faces in the Lorelocks.
Oh? Oh, yeah, you did mention someone. Who was it again?
Tori.
Tori, yeah. Yeah, Miss Pew Pew. Yeah, she's cool.
I'm wondering what she did with that greatsword I gave her.
I don't know. She's kind of hard to approach a lot of the time.
Usually, the way that I approach people that I want to like, I just get up to them, say hello, and give them a great big hug. Not with
More
not
power.
with you though. I'm worried about things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely save the whole hugging thing for when I'm taller.
Yeah.
No hugging before marriage.
Uh, and then Anchor's face goes completely red.
Angus just cocks an eyebrow, like, what?
And what about
Uh,
you, Miss Captain?
You're on push to talk, Melissa.
Yes. still here. I actually hit the button this time.
Hey!
Hooray. I there are so many choices, and this is a choice I didn't think I would actually have to make. But I do like Anchor's choice.
The ground holders or the Lorlocks?
The ground holders, mostly the ground holders.
Ooh.
I mean, I should put my skills with a blade to good use, right? If I can't protect Malik Bamajo, I should protect my friends or the sacred grounds that surround us.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever you think is sacred. That is completely up to you. That's especially what I hear from people there. What
Good,
about your
good.
friends, though? What do you think they would go for?
Well, the only one I can be not even be sure of, but the only one I could think I know something about is Cree, and I'm thinking
Oh,
she
the
would.
little one.
Yes, she's spending time with Moon and Sunny.
Oh.
Well, she loves them and barely ever leaves their sides, unless she's with Angus or Anchor, and I think maybe depending on what they choose, Cree would follow them.
Mm. I mean, doesn't she carry an instrument with her, though? Wouldn't she be good for the Sentinels?
Yes, yes, but
I mean, she
Hmm.
carries.
What?
Cree carries the pan flute in her bag. I don't know. I don't think Lita would have seen the pan flute at any point because I don't think Cree didn't take it out at any point.
She's mixing you up. I will say this: she's mixing you up with another certain red-haired bard who has a instrument on their back.
Okay.
Fairies like to go through
So-
bags.
So I'm gonna do this
So many
little thing.
red-haired bards.
So I'm gonna do this little thing. Yes, she is quite a wonder on that pan flute.
Pamphlet. Oh wait, I thought violin. No.
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 Oh
I play a bit of the violin, but I don't believe it's me you were talking about.
no. Who was it?
Are you
That's
referring?
not important.
Are you referring to the other little red-haired bard? Goes by Mail.
Male.
Male is not little.
True.
Male is rather tall.
Do you mean my boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Cor?
Oh, or yeah, probably him. That's it. Male. I've never heard of anyone with the name of Male. That sounds old. That sounds really old.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, if you want to have that name, more power to you. But it gives a connotation that you're like 300 years old.
Noted.
I can definitely say I've learned something today.
We should get off the topic of elves and age. That sounds like a good thing to do, shall we?
Sorry.
I will take your
Sipping tea.
I will take your thinly veiled invitation to change the subject.
Okay. What shall we change it to then? Maybe your initiation?
Yes, weren't we to investigate some golems?
Well, what did Lord and Lady Omeric tell you? I wasn't there. I mean, I like to eavesdrop sometimes, but it's not really my business, now is it?
Something
mean-
about. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You're the captain.
Something about golems needing to be suppressed. Some kind of rogue technology?
Okay. What about you, Blondie? Anything else that you remember? Sorry, I have not gotten any of your names, have I? I know Kree's earlier, but what about you three?
Angus.
Anchor Godon.
Okay.
Siobhan O'Halane.
Angus did say not to call him Blondie. He hates it.
Okay. Angus, then. So what else then? Sorry, I'm a little nosy.
What else than what?
What else on your initiation? Like, where are you going? Who are you
Oh.
seeing? Do you have to take anything or bring anything back?
I believe we're all going on the exact same initiation last I heard.
Something about mines?
Yes, traveling deep down into the mines to retrieve.
My goodness. Let's look back on the folder that we definitely got about this mission that will tell us everything about this mission. So that
Yes.
we don't have to keep notes on it.
Let's consult our dossier.
When were we given this?
Shush.
Just for an easy recap, you guys have been told to go to the Crystal Caves to not only bring a message of allyship to the Kugamonde within the mines, but also to, as a sign of that allyship, to help them subdue some of their crystal golems that have gone rogue.
Yeah, that.
We're doing that.
I say that.
I don't think Yorgia has even heard this once yet, so this is interesting.
That's
Is
because
Yorga with us?
She is currently at another table by herself, looking like she's searching for something while she eats.
And also, Yorga was seeing red a while back, so...
There is that, but yeah, if you look towards the center of the room, towards that kind of neutral ground area, you'll see her sitting sort of by herself, like, looking like she's looking for something or someone.
Does her gaze ever meet us?
I'll roll for it, I guess.
You roll for perception.
They're gonna say performance. I'm like, what?
No, no.
I got a 12. So
I'll say it takes you 5 minutes before you see them.
I don't do anything with that information if I do see them, so I guess it depends on if she locks eyes with any of the members of the party and they plan to do anything about
there
it.
is bright blue itty bitty light that is near them.
Is it bright blue hair? Because
No.
if it's not, she's not interested.
It's a bright blue light that you have never seen before, and it's moving on its own.
Your kid doesn't care.
I mean, Angus is over there. For all she knows, it's a spell.
And I mean, even then, if it was like, ooh, fancy, fantastical glowing thing. Two things.
Welcome to Morath.
One, she isn't surprised by weird glowing thing for a number of reasons, and two, she's too busy trying to find someone who's like her. Because she's lonely.
Does Anchor see Yorga?
Roll me perception.
What is this conversation?
This is a conversation
Yorga
that's
and
going
Angus
up
lock
on my
eyes.
goals of getting Yorga over to the table.
For crowds and giggles and timing,
eyes, he's gonna wave her over.
I got a nat 20.
Well,
Hot damn.
well, both of you But both of you somehow lock eyes with the same person and both gesture. We'll go with that.
Yorkia noticed the gesture. She looks at her food, looks around, and looks back at you and kind of has this like confused and like nervous look, like for like why did they call me you?
You're trailing off a lot.
I can tell, and I'm trying to like fix it as I speak. So and she's kind of just like, oh God, why are they looking at me? What did I do? Oh no, am I in trouble? Yeah.
Lita kind of looks between all of you. Do you want me to get her?
Could you please? But just tell her that she's welcome to sit with us.
Okay. And she gently drops her tray of food on the table and just immediately starts zooming over to you, Yorgia.
Anchor's just gonna say, "Nobody touch that."
Yorgia sees this bright ball of light approaching her, and she's like, she kind of like shields her face and tries to like dive out of the way, thinking someone has like fired some sort of magical attack at her.
At which point, she notices this. She stops hovering right above your head, slowly brings herself down to where she is standing on top of your head before leaning down, trying to like really flexibly leaning down over you somehow, like standing on your head still, but still leaning down to try and look at you, going, "Hey, your friends want you."
Ah!
Just hanging by a strand of hair.
Tiny person. Yorgia looks back at her friends, assuming that they're all looking at her by now.
Anchor smiles and waves.
Yorgia looks at tiny fairy person and just like stands up and like grabs her food and walks over, like not even like trying to get the fairy off of her head, and just kind of like goes back, goes towards the others.
At which point, as soon as you sit down, Lita just confidently flies off of your head, goes back to her food.
I made sure nobody touched it.
Thank you.
Yorgia looks like she's kind of just like looking at her food and then like around, kind of like, what the fuck was that?
You alright?
Uh,
Are you alright?
Fine. Yorkia is looking at like the very, very confused.
Lita just gives like a flare fingered hand, like in wave.
That would
What?
be our host.
Lita.
Nice to
Lita Plymouth.
meet you, Lita. You are very small.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could make myself bigger though, but it only lasts an hour.
Hmm.
Yeah, and she already did it once today.
Yeah, I
I've
can't really do it too often.
never seen someone that small.
Mm-hmm. I'm a lot more common in the Feywild, but I actually wasn't born in the Feywild. My parents were, but I wasn't.
Okay. What? And Yorgia leans to Angus and is like, so like what is she?
I mean, she's a fairy? I don't know what else you're expecting here. She's just a fairy.
I've never Yorgia looks like she has never seen a fairy before in her life, let alone heard of one.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, a fairy. It's how do I put this? Small fey creatures, typically mischievous tricksters and pranksters, sometimes to a deadly degree, although usually much more harmless. Easy to ire, I have found.
Hmm.
Huh.
I
Well.
think I want to use this information right now. Like, I'm going to lean down to what was her name again? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Lita.
Lita, and go. Do you think you would be able to steal some spices?
Depends. What are you looking for?
Something to just give this a little more of a kick. I promise I'll try to do it to your food as well.
I'll see what I can do. And she sets her food down again and flies off.
What? You said that she was mischievous, so might as well put that mischief to good use.
Siobhan is just like grinning ear to ear at anger. of all the things you ask a fairy to steal, and it's spices.
I mean,
You're
if they have fairies here, I would imagine that they probably have some pucks and some brownies and some other sorts of things that would make stealing from the kitchen extremely inadvisable.
well.
Oh,
We'll find out in a few minutes, I suppose, when she comes back with your spices.
if she comes back with the spices, I don't expect the world of her. But then again, we did just meet, so yeah.
I mean, a sturdy fly swatter would be enough to take care of her if size is anything.
Angus is immediately like patting her on the shoulder. I wouldn't joke about that in front of her if I were you.
Huh.
She's already flown off, so.
I know, but when she gets back, I wouldn't talk like that.
Well, she's not here now, though.
Remember
Big
when I
words.
said easy to ire? Keep that in mind.
I don't even know what ire means.
Easy to piss off.
Hmm.
I like how the
a
party
great
is
word.
all talking to the fairy that originally had said hi to Cree first, and Cree's off doing her own thing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about all this. It's like the first person to like properly interact with Lita was Cree. And she's not here.
Well, once Lita comes back, I hope that I can be like, hey, can you also give some to Cree and tell her to sprinkle this on her food?
Do you know where Cree went? Because she told Angus, but I don't think Angus has told anybody else where Cree. None of you have even asked for Cree is. How
Well,
dare you?
because Angus already said where Cree was.
And
Oh,
Siobhan mentioned that Gree was hanging out with Sunny and Moon Moon.
Oh yeah,
Georgia
I
just
totally.
doesn't care.
Yeah,
At which
I mean, I
point-
know Georgia doesn't care.
At which point, about, we'll say, 7 minutes later, you see, successfully, surprisingly, a little blue light holding a rather large, at least for her size, a canister of some sort of spice. It's not a whole lot for her. It's about 3 inches tall, which is like really, really big for her. So she's struggling a little bit to get to you guys, especially without being seen. But she is managing without a hitch. As she comes over to you, she sets the canister down.
That is
There you go.
amazing.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Sure, not a problem.
I'm going to look at the spice and see what it is.
Roll me. I never thought of how you were going to figure out what kind of spice this is. Go with him. Considering for now, I'll say do nature. Because spices are a natural thing in herbs and whatnot. So
Okay. I got 12.
You can't really make out what it is. You've never seen this kind of spice back at home. It's a deep brown with bits of varying colors of like different hues of reds, oranges, and yellows with a few really deep greens.
All right, I'm going to scoop up a bit of my food, put a little bit of the spice in it, and then taste it.
Roll me Constitution.
I'm sorry, what?
Roll me
Oh, no.
Constitution.
Okay. That's a 21.
That's a spicy boy. You're able to take it, but it's a spicy boy.
Whew.
Can't be
Whoa.
that bad, can it?
Try for yourself.
Yorya sprinkles a small amount onto whatever like meat she's eating. I don't know what food we're having at the moment.
Eh,
Has not
It-
been specified.
Mystery
Eh.
meat.
I would go smaller than that.
Yorgia gives you like a challenging look, like I can handle a little bit of spice.
Anchor
Yorga,
slams the bottle in front of Yorga.
Ah, she just sprinkled a little bit on her fucking food. Why are you putting the bottle in front of her?
Yorga, I have a question for you, if you don't mind, Yorga.
Yes,
Do you spice?
I do spice.
Oh, I see. Goodness, they do everything out here in the.
Is that supposed to be? Is this a slang term that you fairies use or elves, whatever you are, none
I
of
know
this world?
I know it's hard to
Just,
tell with the wings, but you know.
If
just try.
Wait, you
Sorry.
have wings too?
I'm waiting.
I stop immediately, knowing
That's-
she's from the Feywild, and go. I have a spell that allows me to fly. Yes.
No, she's actually not from the Feywild. She mentioned that
She said
her
that
parents
she's a
are
second
from,
generation.
but she was born.
No.
Yeah, she was
Second-
born outside of the Feywilds.
Oh, I know that, but she's too close to the Feywild for Angus's comfort.
Anchor's like, this is a subject for another time. I am wanting to see how Yorga takes this spice.
Which
Yorgia takes a bite of the meat with the spice
Roll me
sprinkled on top of
Constitution.
it.
What'd you get?
God, I got a fucking 2 with a +3.
Oh
no.
It the flavor is there at first. Like first you go, oh, that's not so bad, and then you feel heat going
I
from
roll-
the bottom of your throat, slowly coming up. You feel like you're about to like burp. You hold back a burp. You kind of burp a little bit, but you cover your mouth. All of you see smoke coming out from her nostrils.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Ale,
Can I-
drink, liquid.
Can I roll deception to see if I can pretend that I'm fine?
there's smoke coming out of your nostrils.
You can roll perception.
You're
or
not
deception if you
fine.
want to.
It's fine. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I rolled a
You're-
13.
You're covering your mouths. How do you do deception with that?
Your eyes are watering.
I'm fine. It's fine. I am fine. What does a 13 do for me? Do they believe me?
13 makes them skeptical, but like they're unsure on whether to believe
I
you.
am going to investigate this.
Roll the investigation. What are you investigating exactly?
The freaking smoke coming out of her nostrils.
Oh, I thought.
Wouldn't it be an insight then?
Well, I mean, I
Well,
guess it is
how-
coming from inside of me.
If you insight is
Hey.
if you want to focus on Yorgia. If you're focusing on like specific
Well,
things. such
yeah, I'm
as-
focusing on Yorga. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, then insight.
that's a 22.
Yeah, you see through her.
Just drink the water. Like I push water to her.
It's fine. I'm fine. It's not that bad.
Oh, for the love of mud. And Siobhan takes like not a huge handful, but like a nice little, fingerful of the spice, puts it on whatever she's eating and eats it.
Roll me Constitution with disadvantage because
Hooray!
that was more than the others were putting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that first one would have been nice to have, but I can't. Cool. 5.
That was the same thing.
The first one would have been a 20.
That's the same thing as Yorgia. At first, you get a nice flavor, but then the heat starts to come up, and you're like, "Oh no, I feel like I'm gonna burp." And now you feel like you're holding back literal fire as smoke is starting to come out of your nostrils with every burp that you suppress.
Cool. Is there a water feature in the dining room anywhere?
There are a few like communal barrels of different types of drinks near the center. Pick your poison.
Brilliant. I pick one at random and tap Yorgia on the shoulder, give everybody a thumbs up, and then proceed to run my burping ass over to one of these barrels.
You go over to one of the drinks, and you pour it into your tankard that you've been given with your meal. It's clear. It doesn't have like any specialty to it. It looks fine. It looks like water. Is it water? You're not sure.
At this point, I don't think any of us really care.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't care. I down the drink.
Roll me Constitution.
I just drank fucking magical Everclear, didn't I? For the record, I'm not sad about it.
Right.
That's a 6.
The water is not helping. In fact, it's making things feel worse. You feel like you're about to breathe fire and not in a good way.
Cool. I kind of set the tanker down on the table with like 2 hands, and my eyes are just watering and my mouth is kind of slack-jawed. I've basically accepted my fate at this point. I've got like Siobhan has like rivulets of drool coming out the side of her mouth, and she just kind of sits back and puts her hands on her forehead.
At which point, Yorgia, a familiar face, the same Goliath who took you to the training grounds, kind of sees you from his sub-guild, comes up towards you guys, just with so much stoicism, just sleekly grabs 2 large tankards, goes over to one of the barrels nearby, fills them with something that you can't see right now given the angle, comes up towards the 2 of you, shoves the tankards into your chest. Drink now.
Yorgia is not going to argue with large scary man. And
Neither
drinks.
is Siobhan.
I'm sorry.
As soon as the drink hits your lips, and even from the sight of it, it's milk. And when you taste it, there's a bit of an extra taste to it that's really, it's sweet but not overly sweet, and it definitely helps to push all of this heat down. You're still going to have to take a few gulps, but it's definitely helping everything calm down. Your sinuses are open wide. They stain a little bit. It's going to take some time for everything to calm down, but at least now the burping and the staining have subsided.
One concern.
Yes?
Back at home, they don't drink milk where Yorgia lives. They don't have any milk-bearing animals.
Oh no!
So...
Well, this is going to be a fun experience for you.
So Yorgia doesn't even know what this is. For one. Like, I mean, they have goats, but they don't drink the milk from it. It's really just used for baking. They don't drink
Right.
straight milk.
Right.
She doesn't even know what a cow is, to be honest.
Oh no, she's so sheltered.
So, what I'm saying is there's a very high chance that Yorgia could be lactose intolerant, so this is gonna be interesting. Oh no.
Great.
You want to roll me Constitution to find out?
God.
This has turned into adventures and eating.
10?
Yeah, she's lactose intolerant.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh.
So
He says,
Poor
it's
Yorga.
not severe, but she'll start feeling not so nice rumbling or tumbling in about 45 minutes.
oh no. Poor Yorgia.
I think the only one who's having a good day,
It's
even in the
Cree.
slightest right now, is Cree. Because she's completely over the whole Cori lying to her thing, because, like,
She
I mean,
wouldn't
like-
hurt a flippin' fly in most circumstances.
yes, because a fly is an innocent creature. Alex, though, she would maim.
That's
But yeah, no,
what I
it's
said
just
in
like,
most circumstances.
I mean, like, she already forgave Cori because it's like, oh, we're not just, yeah. The party's all like having a bad day, and Kree's like, After
Improve your
she-
dish.
That
It's
was
okay.
no.
Don't.
Who here knows Gnomish?
Not me.
Not me.
Hang on.
Not me.
I speak 6 languages, and that's not one of them.
Same, but 5.
Nuts. Me neither.
Angus
Just
Angus
2.
speaks 6 languages, but Gnomish ain't one.
If only it was Dwarvish.
I mean, it's written in the same, like, Gnomish and Dwarvish have the same script. That from what you know of Gnomish and Dwarvish, they are somewhat similar words-wise.
I take the bottle and attempt to read it. Can I roll something to try to ramshackle together what it is?
Sure, I'll have you roll for the sake of language and linguistics. Let's go history.
Okay, I was gonna say intelligence, but that's the same modifier to be fair. That's
Yeah.
a 13.
You're not confident with this, but it feels like something to do with, like, you think it means something along the lines of charcoal ash.
It's something to do with charcoals or ash. It's obviously something to do with fire.
You want me to see?
Do you speak Gnomish?
I mean, my friend has taught me a little bit of Gnomish.
By all means.
Lita kind of flies over to the jar, kind of inspecting the words for a moment. Yeah. Yeah, Forger's Ash. That's what it's called.
Oh, that's
And-
probably not good.
So what does it do? Is it like
It's extremely spicy. It also has a little bit of draconic spices mixed in with it for a bit of a modern twist. And yeah, if your body really didn't like it, you probably would have been breathing fire.
Oh.
Out of all
that's the fun of spices, hurting yourself with heat.
spices in the kitchens of the Bountyfolk, This is the one you decide to bring us?
Very.
Right.
I warned all of you. I just sit there smug, crossing my arms. Like, did I not say literally this?
You did warn us.
Hey, no harm, no foul, no property damage.
But it could have happened.
Drinks milk.
It could have, but it didn't.
Angrily drinks milk.
Yorgia, like, she's drinking the substance because she likes the taste, but she's looking at it like she again has that look of like, what the hell is this?
Are you? Go ahead.
Go.
Someone
Ooh.
speak.
Someone was going.
Angus, speak.
Are you enjoying your milk or?
What's milk?
You don't know what milk
Oh,
is?
Oh, this
mean,
is going to be a conversation.
I mean, I mean, I know what milk is, but like, you don't drink it. Why would? She kind of looks at it like kind of grossed out.
Well,
Like,
you're drinking it right now,
Well, you
so.
can enjoy milk. It's very good warmed up when you can't sleep. Or milk nullifies spicy food.
A lot better than water.
Milk is for like babies, though.
Some milk, not all.
Most milk, if you ask me.
Not the ones that you get from a cow.
How? It's the big thing, right?
Big thing with a lot of spots.
That's the big thing. It's the big thing that goes moo.
Oh,
Sometimes has horns.
We don't have those back home.
What? Where are you from?
Husuega Mieres?
Husuega Fue. I don't think I've heard that place before. Have you guys heard that place before?
No, I thought Yorga was about to sneeze or something.
No. I don't think I have either.
Huh.
Can't say that I have.
Can
a
you
little
show
island.
it to us on a map?
Give me a map.
Where is the nearest map? Lita's kind of looking around frantically. I think the only maps that are available are in the deeper parts of the sub-guilds.
I mean, I can if you give me a map, I can show y'all after dinner.
You want me to sneak again and get a map after this?
Sure, you did so well the first time.
Yogia nods in pensive agreement.
How about before you guys leave? Because I'm pretty sure the Almerics are going to give you directions using a map on where to go anyways. So we could do our little chat then?
Sure. So when are we supposed to meet with those people anyway?
In the morning.
In the morning, okay. Well, I mean, I don't have anything better to do. Where are we supposed to sleep? On the floor?
Your choice. You can sleep in any of the bunking quarters of the sub-guilds. Speaking of, have you thought of a sub-guild to go into?
No.
Why not?
No. I'm getting home as soon as possible, and my home is far, far away from here.
But I mean, you're here, and you're with everyone else on this initiation.
I mean, yeah,
you don't have to be in a guild for your entire life or anything. But it's still good to kind of honor this in a way.
Look, the only reason I'm here is because my parents kicked me out of the house for whatever reason. So I don't think it would be worth anyone's time for me to sign up for a guild and then disappear off the face of the earth as soon as I find a boat home.
I guess.
Well, you're also here due to a promise that you made to me, though, as well.
Oh.
There is that as well.
So sounds like you're on a leash.
You could put it that way.
I am by no means about to trap anyone anywhere.
I mean, as soon as Angus does what he needs to do, I'm going to go home. So, once I am done fulfilling my promise to Angus, I am hopping on the next boat home. So, there's no reason for me to commit myself to a guild and then jump off the face of the earth, or the face of the continent, rather, and you and never.
Is your home really that far off from the archipelago?
I mean, it's far off from this part of the archipelago. It's pretty far south.
But if it's still part of the archipelago, then you're not really leaving? Because, I mean, the Bountyfolk have spots, and even the sub-guilds have spots all throughout here, save for a few areas.
Well, we definitely don't have any sub-guilds in Husuea Gafmieres, I promise you.
Well, that's probably one of the spots where we haven't talked to yet.
Yeah, because we don't talk to outsiders.
Well... Anyway, food! At which Lita screws open the spice jar, grabbing a few pieces of spice for herself to go on her food.
Are you sure you want to do that?
She gives a giant grin as, without a hitch, she takes her food with the spice, just starts chomping down. You see her body go from this blue to a deep, like, eggplant aubergine kind of color, but she is in love.
Wow, okay.
Well, now I've seen everything.
So,
Don't speak too soon.
so to kind of cut time a little bit, so it is now nighttime. Yorgia, your body is not happy.
We didn't get animal
Oh,
time
no.
with Cree.
we're a little cut for time right now.
I know. I was hoping Cree could meet some new animals, but that's okay.
Mm.
Maybe next time we're at the Bountyfolk then.
That is if you guys read the Bountyfolk. Anyway, it is now nighttime. Where is everyone wanting to sleep?
Protect the boys.
Okay.
Georgia is just gonna go wherever Angus goes, and again, when she's like walking around, like for the rest of her evening, she's gonna be like still on her hunt for another Kalishtar.
Which some of your time is distracted by the need for helping with certain bodily functions.
Yeah. I figured. But
Gee whiz, I can't imagine why.
I am a cruel DM.
yes, you are. But yeah, Yorgi is still looking for another Kalishtar.
You're not seeing anyone.
Yorgia gets increasingly more frustrated with every hour that goes by that she can't find another Kalishtar because there are so many weird ass creatures here. Why can't there be one fucking Kalishtar? Well, I guess it's
Siobhan-
me.
I
I'm
mean,
the one fucking
You're,
Calistar.
I mean, Yorga said it herself. Galistars don't really talk to anybody else, so should she really be surprised?
She's desperate.
Siobhan, Cree, where are you all sleeping? And actually, Angus, by extension, where are you and Yorgia sleeping?
Yorga, or rather, Angus is sleeping with Cree tonight, most likely. Somewhere, for now, in one of the Lorelock quarters,
Ooh, okay.
where he is waiting up for a certain young man who is not getting out of this.
Excellent. Okay, so Cree, real quick. She's going to use her her last speak with animals for today.
Okay.
Before she needs to rest. Cause she's I want to say that after she got done eating, she just kind of roamed around the stables. At some point, like just started talking to some of the animals there to see like, oh, what are you? Where are you from? And stuff like that. She was learning. She was learning stuff.
Whoa, Speak with Animal only lasts for like 10 minutes, so you wouldn't have a
15.
whole lot of time. Oh, 15.
Yeah, I
Oops,
mean
my
like
bad.
yeah, it's 15 minutes. And she was timing it. So at the last like 3 minutes, she and she didn't like activate it right away. She mostly wandered a bit, and then when she found like interesting animals, like as she was walking back toward like getting towards the end of dinner time, she like chatted with a few of them.
Aw.
And within like the last like 3 to 5 minutes of speak with animals left, she goes back to Sundancer and Moonjumper.
Okay.
Are you guys going to be okay tonight? I could stay here in the stable all night if you want me to.
Well, we'll be fine. I'm sure that the others need you anyway, especially after earlier. Besides, I have my brother. I didn't have that before. Yeah, we're best friends. Best friends.
I love Moonjumper.
Okay, if you need anything at all, I'm gonna try and make sure I'm not too far away. So all you have to do is bark really, really loudly, and then I'll come as fast as I can. Okay?
Like this? And at which
Yeah,
you
exactly
immediately
like
see,
that, but not right now.
at which you immediately see Sunny bring up a paw to lightly bap Moon's snout. Not now.
Not
Anyway,
right now. I don't want to cause trouble. But yeah, alright, I'll try to make sure I'm not too far away then.
And she leans towards both of them to give them pets.
Good night, I'll see you in the morning.
the both of them lean into you. Moon's tail going a mile a minute. Well, both of their tails wagging, but Moon's more so. Good night. Sleep well.
You too.
And then Kree goes off to find her friends because she has no idea where any of them are at this point. But like,
Yeah,
we're gonna probably just assume that that she finds them pretty quick.
I will say that by the time that you come out of the stables, it is relatively empty in the center of the building. Roll me investigation to find your friends as Cori
All right.
comes, makes his way into the lobby of the Lorelocks.
Rose with the investigation. So 15.
You saw Cori.
She's gonna run up, waving to Corey. Corey!
Huh? Well, hey, kiddo. How are you?
I'm good. I was just staying with
Valkyrie
The
is
puppers.
dying.
Yeah, I was just with Sundancer and Moonjumper. Do you know where everyone else is?
Well, we're all going to bed. I don't remember where the others are, but I'm sleeping in with the Lorelocks.
So Cree takes Cori's hand.
Oh, but first Angus wanted to talk to you, remember?
Yeah, how about we go in? I need time to think about things before I talk to Angus again, anyways. And he starts going into the Warlock's going
Cree
towards the
has
sleeping
his
quarters.
hand. Cree has
Ah!
his hand, and she's not letting go.
But you're walking.
But what about Angus?
It'll be fine. Knowing him, considering he's an elf, he'll sleep jack diddle. He'll find me and he'll pull me up awake anyways.
Oh, but I don't think I can sleep without Angus tonight. And I wanted to talk to Angus about something too.
Well, do you have anything that could, I don't know, help us find him where he is?
I don't think I gave Cree any of those types of spells.
No, you did not.
No.
Well,
Well, okay. In this case, Cree is going to think, okay, maybe I could go search for Angus at the last place I saw him. And she's gonna drag Cori along with her.
oh, Angus, Yorgia,
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
where are you two exactly in this circumstance?
I don't know. That's a question for Angus.
Well, we are we are at the Lorlock dorms, basically, looking for a room.
Well,
Mhm.
you saw Cori and Cree coming into the area of like the dorm area, and now Cree is dragging Cori out.
I call out to Cree, knowing the minute she hears my voice, she is going to turn. Cree.
Does Cree hear?
Yes. Kitty
Oh, in
ears
that
hear
case,
all. I would
she
not make you roll for
immediately.
this.
In that case, she immediately stops, and if Cori's not paying attention, probably runs into her.
Cori is able to pay attention. He doesn't bump into anything.
And Cree, like as she stops and turns towards Angus's voice, it's like, "Oh, Angus, there you are!" And she drags Cori back towards where they were going before.
Hey, Egg. Oh, hey, Yorgia. Nice seeing you guys. Y'all sleeping in the Lorlocks tonight?
Georgia doesn't make eye contact with him, doesn't even speak with him, but she is making a point to fidget with her dagger. She is very much not happy. She takes out, I don't know, she takes out like a stick from her bag and starts like aggressively like driving her dagger into it or like sharpening the stick with it. Just like trying not to even acknowledge the existence of Cori, but it is very obvious that the mere presence of him right now is making her very angry.
How about we make that talk quick, Angus?
I am perfectly fine with that. Is there something wrong that makes you want us to make it short there, Cori?
Clearly, someone does not want me around.
Cree is just kind of looking kind of confused at Yorga being all angry. Like, in her eyes, she's not exactly sure why everyone would be so mad at Cori right now. It's like, they didn't die, so what's the problem?
Cree,
Oh,
could you
sweet summer
let
child.
go?
Okay.
And she lets go of his hand.
I promise you that Yorga will be on her best behavior. Won't you, Yorga?
I promise there will be no bloodshed.
You, considering the conversation I would like to have with him tonight, can you also promise me there will be no angry yelling at him for the eve?
I will not intentionally do so.
I don't know that there's going to be a better time at this point, Cori. It's up to you at this point, I suppose. I'm not going to force you to do anything. I'm not the type of person to force anyone to do anything. That sounded accusatory, and it was not meant to. I apologize.
Hmm.
Are we in a
I've
private
been
place right now?
You kind of, sort of. You were in the halls of the little dorm area of the sleeping for the Lorlocks.
So we should probably get in a dorm.
How about we pick a spot behind a door first? The walls aren't that thick, but it's better than risking people eavesdropping at the doors.
I suppose. So, are we going into a room or not?
You guys were here first. You pick.
I just pick the first one I see that's available.
Okay. It opens. You see 2 sets of bunk beds.
I
Beds.
I gesture to the room to everyone else, like, shall we?
Kria's never seen a bunk bed before, and she immediately just gasps and climbs up on top of one of them.
That's Kree entertained for the evening. Anyone else?
Georgia slides into the bunk below Kree's and like nestles herself into like the corner and continues aggressively sharpening her stick.
Cori walks in but stays near the door.
Probably a good choice. What are the floors made of here?
The floor is hardwood. There is like a rug kind of near the doorway, but otherwise there's really not anything fluffy or anything easily stainable on the ground.
Oh, so just like
Oh.
college.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, this isn't the white prize. They probably have locking doors here.
Yes, they
Hopefully.
do.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's
And it's not a big wooden plank that you're gonna fail a strength save to get off.
Angus did not fail that strength save. Angus got a natural 20.
No, he failed the first one, didn't
3
he? And then he got a.
fails.
Yeah.
Okay, back on track, lovelies.
Angus sits down on one of the remaining beds and kind of looks over at Cori and looks over at Yorga and looks over at Cori and looks at Yorga and goes, well, now my conversation is starting to feel more and more petty. Well, petty's not the right word. Insignificant. There we go.
Well, it's
Kree
kind of
just
something
kind
I
of
need
like
to save for all of you.
Kree has draped herself like not completely over the edge of the bunk bed, but like just kind of like she's just kind of like hanging just a little bit, and her feet are like kicking behind her, and she just kind of like her gaze just shifts between Angus and Cori because she can't see Yorga under the bed.
Angus sighs and says, please don't fall. Please don't fall, Kree. I don't know that I can handle that this evening.
I'll be fine if I do. I've fallen from bigger heights. I've fallen out of trees before.
Yes, but not typically onto hardwood, I'm imagining.
Well, I mean, the ground's not really soft.
You know what? I'll leave it at that. Moving on. You know what, Cori? Maybe you were right. Maybe this conversation, it seems sillier and sillier the more that I think about it. And you know what? Maybe it's a conversation that never needs to happen, and maybe this can just be a thing that I never need to talk about and a thing that I forget about.
Wait, you're not What?
I just it. I'm just nervous to talk about this. That's all. It's not where I'm from. We don't talk about these sorts of things. It's simply just not done.
I
I
mean,
mean, the thing in general just isn't done at all.
back in the orphanage, shit like this isn't done. You see, I'm not there anymore.
Well, I suppose that's fair, but I is this common out here? Is this relatively common?
Not really.
Fair enough. I
I just know how to act happy.
I I have so many questions, and I simultaneously have none. I've just never. God.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Mhm.
Why do
What?
people think you got? Why is it that some people seem to think you guys are girls if you're both boys?
Because society's a dick.
She just kind of looks confused.
Well, Cree, some people think that because of how we were born, that that decides whether or not we are men or women.
She just kind of like stares ahead for a moment, and then she like pops up like, "That's how you're supposed to."
No, it is
Mm,
not how you're supposed to tell. It is
That's how
some people
society
think.
wants to tell you, but it's not. Just because society says so doesn't mean that you're supposed to.
Oh, I mean, well, I said it wrong. I meant to say that's how other people tell. I always just went by what other people told me. And if I didn't know,
That
then I just didn't know.
that's cute.
I
But that doesn't make sense, because how are you supposed to know that? People wear clothes all the time. It's not like animals. And even they don't know what being a boy or a girl is usually.
People like to make up imaginary constructs to put people together with. And sometimes those imaginary constructs have to do with biology, though gender is in your soul, not in your sex. And Yorkia goes back to sharpening her stick.
think that was the happiest thing that she said all day.
Like how this has become just teaching Cree about society and why it's wrong.
Teaching Cree transphobia. Wait, no. Don't
No.
word it that way.
Oh no!
No, Cree shall not be a transphobe.
Uh,
No,
sorry,
she
Teaching
Cree.
can't be a
Creed how
transphobe.
to dislike transphobes.
Sorry, Cree. Angus identifies as super straight.
Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
Absolutely not. I forbid it.
Anyway, in the moment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't be anymore in the moment. No,
Do
no,
you want me to leave?
no. Yes, but no, but yes, but no, but no, 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 no.
I
How did?
mean, this could be in the morning before you guys leave. You guys
Let's
need
just do this in the
sleep.
morning. Let's just do this in the morning. I
Oh,
apologize,
oh,
Corey.
oh,
I'm a mess.
okay. No. You're fine. I'm the mess.
I did. Self-deprecation is not becoming.
You're one to talk.
No.
Anyway, sorry that came off really bad.
It's late. We should all go to sleep.
Yeah.
Morga, why did that one sound like it was threatening me?
There is no threats in my tone or in my meaning. Simply that I think it is time for us all to go to sleep instead of having mundane conversations about mundane things.
At which point Cori has already rushed out and he's quietly closed the door.
Bye, Cori. Sleep well.
Deep sigh, flop onto bed. I'm sleeping now. Well, meditating, really.
Sweet dreams.
Do I dream?
Uh,
I don't really know if I dream.
Can you sleep?
I meditate.
And I'm not
I
sure.
once had a dream that I was so big that I could hop on the mountains and I was walking over trees. It was really fun.
What's that like to dream?
Well, sometimes it's kind of fun. Other times it's just kind of weird. And then sometimes it's really scary. It kind of depends, and sometimes it changes. Usually, you don't know that you're dreaming until after you wake up. So, weird things happen, but you think it's okay at the time, and then you wake up and you think, why did I think that was normal? Because it wasn't. Fish don't fly in the sky, they swim in the water.
Wow.
With that, we will say that all of you have attempted to sleep. At one point, Anchor, you are actually interrupted by a very, very scared red-haired bard.
I'm sorry, what?
You you are asleep in the dorms of the Sacred Ground Hoarders, and you are woken up by a very scared and very sad red-haired bard. You
You're
have your
gonna have to
little
be more
encounter there.
specific.
Cori.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You have your moment where Cori opens up a lot to you about his own fears, especially with realizing how much that he screwed up and put not only the morale of the party, but you especially in danger, really unsure how to try and mend things for your sake, and he just breaks down.
Yes, he does. I had that little RP in private.
Oh, I was hoping we get to hear some of it.
No,
That's
I'll
fine.
give
Angus and
quotes.
Kree are gonna have a private. That's fine. Angus and Kree are gonna have a private RP later. So
Exactly. But yeah, when
It was very off guard when I saw Corey cry. He doesn't do that often.
So, yeah, with that little encounter in mind, and Georgia, you're searching for a friend, somewhat manifesting in a door that you think is of someone familiar from home, but in reality was just something that was kind of made up and kind of proves that yeah, even Kalishar can dream, because you could tell that it was something that you were making up on the fly, and though it was nice to see a friend, it was bittersweet with the fact that they were saying and moving in ways that you could tell weren't really of their own volition.
Is it possible for Yorgia to dream walk with someone she can't see with her own eyes?
I'll get back to you on that later because we're getting short on time. But in the morning, it becomes morning, all of you wake up. Anchor, like it's relatively early in the morning when Anchor, you feel, depending on if you choose to actually wake up or not, you feel the familiar feeling of deep pressure therapy from your emotional support bard who like just missing.
Anchor is panicking now and looking around. Cori? Cori?
No answer.
I look under the bed. I look everywhere. That's like I even looked up plants because I'm not dumb.
No answer, but you do hear the occasional footsteps outside.
One time when the footsteps are coming, I opened the door in a panic. Cori?
You see a few people look at you a little confused before looking out towards an exit. He's probably out there.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Newbie?
Anchor just nods.
You're fine. Come on, breakfast.
Oh, okay. And he walks out, closes the door behind him. I was kind of hoping I would be able to help with that.
At which rate, all of you suddenly hear bells going on. And they are loud.
Yorgia like grabs her
Creep.
pillow and pulls it over her head.
Creep panics and falls out of Angus's bed.
Siobhan sits bolt upright and grabs the nearest object that can be used as a weapon.
That being a cup of water on your nightstand, which you have spilled over your person.
Fantastic.
Man, it's a good thing that Cree moved to Angus's bed in the middle of the night and slept there instead of on the bunk.
But yeah, with all the bells, all of you can roughly hear a voice shouting, "Breakfast! Get your food!"
Great. All that for breakfast. This had better be the best breakfast ever.
You took the words right out of Yorgia's mouth.
Are y'all getting up and going?
Well, now,
Begrudgingly.
yeah.
So, when all of you make your way out of your respective sub guilds, it's like there's still a lot of people that are groggy from the waking up of bells. A few of them who woke up just before, a little more on the chipper side, as everyone goes to the giant line of tables that have been set up holding many arrays of food. You have many different types of sweetened and salted oats, different nuts, as well as many different breads, many different meats prepared. All of them seem relatively well spiced, a lot better than the food that was made for supper yesterday. And as well, there are the barrels of many different types of drink.
Almost forgot to change how many days until the new moon, but I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that when they get into like the mess hall or whatever, Cree immediately goes about like sniffing out the best smelling foods and taking some to taking whatever smells the best and putting it on her plate.
Yeah, Siobhan moseys around and gets food as well.
Anchor is kind of distracted looking for his little support bard that he's had for most of his life while grabbing food.
Roll me investigation while you are getting food.
Yeah, that's a 5.
You cannot find him. However, you suddenly hear a familiar voice behind you, but it's timid like it was at night. Can you help me round up the others?
He turns around, suddenly shocked, but nods as he calms down.
Sorry. I
You're fine.
didn't mean to spook you.
You're fine. You're fine.
Didn't sleep well last night.
Yeah, I woke up and suddenly you were gone.
Yeah, I figured walking would probably help me wake up at least. Doing a couple laps or 20 around the perimeter.
Yeah. Should we round up Yorga last?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go get the others then.
Okay. You lead the way?
Mm-hmm. And he just grabs his food and looks around for the others, hoping to gather them together.
Roll me perception super quick perception and investigation while you're looking for the others.
For perception, that's a 14. For investigation, that's a 19.
Just sees like a
Okay.
tiny little red-haired bard, like her hair just like popping up every once in a while on one side of the table, and then she crawls underneath the table to another part of the table to get other pieces of food. She's just making her way down.
You see, for the investigation, I will say you see that as well as everyone else in line for food. As for the perception, you notice that Cori did not grab any food or drink.
Cori, are you okay?
Kind of.
You need to eat.
Not right now.
Mm,
I don't want to
Well-
barf when I'm trying to apologize.
all right, all right. I grab a few extra servings just in case.
Anyway, you saw everyone, including Cree, just being the cat that she is. What are you doing with that info?
I'm going to go up to them one at a time, or maybe in groups if they are in groups, and say that Cori has something to say. Something that you may want to hear.
I'm listening.
Well, I want to gather everyone together first before he says it.
Very
I
well.
mean, Kree's gonna sit down where everybody else is sitting today. So, as soon as she's done grabbing food, she'll wander over to whatever table they find.
Oh yeah, Siobhan will join them too.
All right.
So everyone's
finally,
huddling at the table?
finally, Yorga. Yeah.
Yorgia comes and joins, but she kind of looks like her mind is somewhere else. She doesn't put up any argument, but you think it may be because she seems like she's not all here right now.
All right, that's everyone.
Cori is kind of standing at the end of the table, like closest to you guys. Did everyone sleep well?
I fell off the bed.
You did fall off the bed.
Why? Because of the bells?
Yeah, they were really loud and they scared me awake. Usually when I hear loud noises, wake me up, it's usually not a good thing. So I was
Sorry.
kind of pleased to know it wasn't a bad thing.
You were going to say something, Siobhan?
Oh, I was going to agree about the bells.
Is now a good time to say something, or do you guys still need to wake up?
I woke up when I fell out of the bed.
Yeah, by being in this room together, I think it means we are, in fact, woken up.
I guess just some of us don't really seem all that here.
Yorga,
Huh?
are you all right?
I am here.
Guess I'll just rip the gauze off. I'm sorry. I'm more so apologizing because of how I worded things. That is on me. And as much as I want to say, oh yeah, that's because of some of my friends that I've been around for some of the other escapades that I've done, that is not an excuse. It's not right regardless. I shouldn't have done that. So I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not nearly as mad as I was before, but don't think that I forgive you.
I can be persuaded to forgive eventually, but for now, I accept your apology.
Mm.
You know I can't hold a grudge on you.
I feel that your apology is fair. I also know that this was not entirely your doing alone. So while I do mildly hold some of it against you, I acknowledge that. Oh, I say mildly. I hold a lot of it completely against you. But I also acknowledge that it's not entirely your fault, so. I forgive you, but my trust will be slow to earn back.
I didn't actually die, so I'm okay. I've heard worse things.
Oh. That's concerning.
That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make any of this right.
Well,
I'm
No, it
not
doesn't.
No,
I'm
it
not
doesn't.
apologizing just to try and make everything right and act like things are gonna go back.
I still forgive you, Cori.
Thank you. Cree.
She smiles at him and then continues eating her food because she's still hungry.
You can see Georgia is like taking deep breaths, squeezing her hands together.
Anchor is gesturing to a spot next to him for Corey to sit and pushing the plate of enormous amounts of food that he has in between him and Corey. It's like, eat.
You see Corey's hands go into his pockets as he takes a step back from the table. Kind of looking at Georgia anxiously.
Listen, I'm not going to bite your head off, but if you thought an apology would make me feel any better, you are sorely
No,
mistaken.
I literally just said that I didn't expect this to go back to the way things were with this. Just you're quiet.
Well, my entire world doesn't revolve around you, Cori. I have other things on my mind. I have other things going on.
I wasn't meaning it like.
Yorgit looks at her hands. She takes a deep breath and like bites her lip, and she's fidgeting more with her hands.
I don't really know what else to do.
There isn't really anything you can do.
There is one, I think.
Oh,
He pulls out a signet ring with the emblem of the Sentinels of Hugh. I'm trading this in. Going to the Lord Locks.
Wait, why? I'm confused.
Remember how I said there are some people that I'm around that I'm used to using that kind of wording with? Probably shouldn't be around them anymore.
But I wanted to be in the Sentinels of Hugh with you.
I mean, I'm not leaving the Sentinels indefinitely. I can go back, but I just need a break for a while. Break from being a bard.
You'd be a rogue instead, or
Exactly. Had to be one throughout throughout a good part of my childhood, so Anger can attest to that.
Anchor nods.
I don't want you to give up the big part of who you are, Cori.
It's not as big as you think. Bigger part of me is not really having a part. One of the curses of being an orphan. You have to make your way, and sometimes the way that you make or even find is worse than you imagine.
Cree says something under her breath there. But I kind of want people to roll a perception to see if they actually hear her say it.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Okie dokie.
I will say, how quietly is Creed trying to say this?
Like, she doesn't really want to say this out loud because it's not something that she really wants to get into, but at the same time it's just like it's such a strong feeling that she can't help but like say it out loud kind of thing, but like, she is like mumbling into like a sandwich or something, whatever one of the things she grabbed to eat.
Okay, so I have an idea for a DC. What did everyone get?
Yeah.
13.
10.
I didn't roll yet. What were we rolling?
Perception.
Perception.
that's 24.
I got a 19.
Okay, Angus, Anchor,
Nice.
you got it.
All right, so under her breath, you hear Cree mumble in a more hostile tone that you're used to hearing her say. And you know what? Actually, she says this in Elvish too. So sorry, Anchor. Sorry, Anchor. No, okay, you know what? I'll let Anchor have this. She doesn't say it in Elvish. She almost does, but I'll let Anchor have this because he did roll pretty high. But
Hmm.
she, under her breath, Cree mumbles, "Better than having parents that hate you."
Yes,
Gonna let that
but
slide for now.
We'll unpack that later.
Hmm.
Edgar just
suitcase.
nods, but it's like, I'm sorry, what? He doesn't say this out loud. He has that look on his face.
Worried Uncle face as he stares at the cat.
And she doesn't notice that anybody heard her say that because she is very much focused on her food right now. But there is like a slightly there's like an angry look on her face.
Grumpy
That
kitty.
and she's kind of like checked out of the conversation now. Because now she's thinking about her own issues.
Yorgia is also completely checked out of the conversation.
Hey, Yorgia, idea?
Yorgia looks up at Cori, and you see her eyes are red, and she looks like she's on the brink of tears.
Do you want to spar when you get back? Just for something?
I just want to go home.
I'll leave you guys alone. Lord and Lady O'Merrick would probably want to talk to you about the directions on where to go later.
Hey, Corey,
Hmm?
thanks for not leaving entirely.
I wouldn't. I used all night to think about it. Besides, I gotta own up to bringing you guys here.
Well, Corey,
Yeah?
if you were up all night, you should really go get some rest. We can't help Yorga get home if you aren't well rested.
With that, Yorgia is crying.
Oh, that may have been the wrong thing to say. He
Um,
says as he awkwardly starts patting her on the shoulder.
I'll leave. And he goes off back to the lore locks. Well, first, actually, he makes a pit stop to the Sentinels of Few. And that, because of timing and other things and personal lives, is where we are ending today's session.
Bum, bum,
Aw.
Well.
But I want to play for another 4 more hours.
Oh, if only. If
I'd-
only.
I'd play D&D for a whole 24 hours if my body would let me.
Dude, a
Hell yeah.
24-hour D&D workshop, sign me the fuck up.
I'm sorry, but you guys do remember me telling you what some of my in-person sessions used to run, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Tell me.
I used to run 12-hour sessions.
Holy crap.
Nice!
I wanna.
See, you say that.
Want.
The first couple of sessions you do that is pretty great, and then you get into session 5 of doing that, and everybody involved is just like, Wow.
Oh yeah,
Turns
I'm
out
pretty
when
sure I wouldn't want to do that like every single flipping session, but
No,
like
yeah.
for
But the
for like
scene
something
special session.
titular, like
Espe-
fuck yeah.
especially because eventually you get to the point where you're just like, wow, we're going through your campaign really fast.
I just want a really, really long session where it's just a crap ton of RPing. I would love that.
You give me plans,
If
young child.
I can draw comics for 24 hours, I can play D&D for 24 hours. Doesn't mean either will
Heck
be
yeah.
successful, but I can do it.
I need to go to the bathroom. So how about we wrap this up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we shall wrap this up. So
I
this
also
has been
need-
another episode of Tabletop Continuum's World of Morath. This has been Tyler, Robin, Austin, Valkyrie, and Melissa, as we all say, bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Indeed, enjoy your long rest.